basically this bill does two things. One is it changes a waiting period from 30 days to 60 days to get some of our welfare benefits. And number two, it requires a photo on the EBT card. I want to say that I had two constituents approach me separately. They were not related to each other and just sharing their frustration with the fact that we pay out welfare benefits for people moving to our state to get them. And they gave me two clear examples, and if you don't mind, Mr. Chair, I'd like to briefly read them. One was the owner of a do-it-yourself moving company in Morrison County and said this summer a woman rented a vehicle and moved to Morrison County from Chicago. The difference in the response to the typical family and job questions was that she wasn't moving here for a job. She wasn't moving here for her family. She looked me in the eye and told me without any hesitation, no, we are moving here for the welfare benefits.
You know, I often have heard these bills before, and I think what always strikes me is the kind of anecdotal nature of members coming forward saying that they talk to their somebody, their local grocery store owner or whoever, and that this is what they say is going on, and then we kind of bring this forward, and then we want to spend money to change state law in order to presumably save money for an individual who talked to an individual in your district and said that they think this is a widespread issue. So I guess what I'm trying to find out, and I don't know if you know or if the department is here, is to try to get a handle on this issue of we are in a welfare magnet state. And so I think that that's a pretty profound statement if we can't back that up. Mm-hmm. I think that, you know, we all come here and we really want to do well, and we kind of have bills that we want to present. But, you know, Senator Gazelka, with all due respect, I think that those are the questions that you should have had answered before, frankly, you came to the committee. And that's the work that we typically do before we come forward to make sure. Because the thing that I worry about, Senator Gazelka and Mr. Chair, with your indulgence, is when we bring this forward, there is a certain stigma that we're attaching to people. And we're saying, so you said that this person said that the only reason why they came was because Minnesota had better benefits, and frankly, they would have went to Hennepin County, but Crow Wing County or the other county had better benefits. I mean, when you say that, you have to really kind of substantiate that. And so the baseline is really just to get the data to figure out if we really do have an issue. I mean, we do want to, we're not in a position to really spend money in this committee, and we're spending money. And one of the other things that you haven't addressed, Senator Gazelka, is no one, even in your testimony, you didn't say that somebody was using benefits that wasn't their benefit, right? And that's what the photo ID implies, is that somehow they're using benefits that is not their benefit. And so we have a very healthy and very strong welfare fraud division in each county that does a pretty good job at kind of sifting out if people are using their benefits. I would never say that someone is not, you know, smart enough to figure out how to game the system. But for the most part, in testimony in previous years that these types of bills have come forth, we have seen that they kind of catch people when they come in and try to build the system if they have some pattern. So I guess what I'm saying is, one, I think we really need to establish if there's a real problem here in a large way, because we want to change state statute. And then number two, to really address this issue that I think you're trying to get at, which you didn't speak to, which is fraud, and you want somebody to, we're going to spend $513,000 therefore to put a picture on a card because we assume that somehow the person that's using the card isn't entitled to the benefit. So, you know, Mr. Chair, I think that those are the questions that we should have answered before we move forward with this bill.
Sometimes I think it is difficult to prove why somebody is coming here, but certainly I think we all think that we want to take care of those in our state that are needy, that we can help, give a hand up. And my attempt here is not to prohibit those in Minnesota from getting the need or care from us that they need, but I do want to try to prevent those coming to Minnesota getting that benefit automatically that we have reserved for Minnesotans. So I'm certainly willing to have the dialogue with DHS and all of you here and have that conversation.